Salutations, my fellow dudes and dudettes, and welcome back to Star Fox 64. Last time, we had to rescue Slippy because he decided to pull a suicide mission that ended up falling right on his stupid frog face. But now that we managed to rescue our pal Slippy, let's go to Bosse.
If you destroy the satellite, we can go straight for Venom. Be careful, Fox.
I'm on it.
Good luck.
Okay, guys, destroy all barriers.
And welcome to Bosse, the defense outpost. Basically, the last hurrah before our march on Venom, despite the fact we're in planes, but whatever. Alright, so the first phase of this mission, you're gonna want to go for these energy towers, because there's a giant barrier in the middle, and we need to get rid of that barrier.
I won't let you get away from me.
So all you have to do is aim for those towers and destroy them all. Don't take too long to destroy them, because otherwise I think you get docked a few points, because I believe they're 3 points apiece. Also, one thing I forgot to mention, for every 10 kills you get a gold ring.
Those ships are shielded too.
Well, that isn't a satellite anyway. Yeah, see, there you go. Get yourself a gold ring. We're gonna need it because the next bar is pretty hectic. And I am sorry for taking this long with the barriers. I don't know what was up with me today. I think I was trying to charge shot them. Or something. I don't know what was going on with me.
They don't give up.
And unfortunately, this mission can't go anywhere until...
Hey! The force field is disappearing! Looks like we've got company.
Until now. Now you just have an onslaught of enemies just all over the place. And this is where you have to... This is where you want to make sure that, your, party members are high and, like, they have a lot of health, because they're gonna get chased a lot in this level. Slippy especially, they get tailed almost all the time during this level, and it's really irritating to have to constantly save their butts. The score quota for this is 150. There is a very easy way to do this. Oh, by the way, after you destroy a certain amount of enemies, the core to the base shows up. Every time you shoot a piece of the core, it starts shooting out little lasers. So the second you shoot it, you better you want to steer clear, because otherwise you're gonna get shot. But 150 is the quota. The easy way to do this, if you manage to fail the mission on Fortuna with Star Wolf, and the bomb manages to go off, Star Wolf's team essentially retreats to take you on another day. They will show up in this level, or at least the ones that did survive the battle. So, like, if you destroy 2 of their members, only the remaining 2 show up in this level. You might want to either fail that mission in Fortuna deliberately, or you approach this Bosse from another planet, say Macbeth. And we'll be seeing Macbeth later. And unfortunately, I missed it by 1 point again. I can't blame Falco for this one, unfortunately.
Venom, here we come.
Just 1 point off. It's like, dang it. Alright, time for the final level of the game. Or at least the first round of this playthrough. Welcome to Venom. So to start things off, we're gonna kill ourselves, because, like I said before, if you die, you get 3 bombs at the start, and you want to do that at the start because there are enemies all over the place.
We're not done yet. Time to show the monkeys who's boss. They're everywhere.
Now there is no medal requirement for this, so you can either ignore as many enemies as you want, kill as many as you want. Doesn't matter. You can't meet. There is no medal quota for Venom. There is a good reason why, but we'll get into that later on in the playthrough. But as for the level itself, it starts out pretty crazy. There are enemies flying all over the place, trying to shoot you down. Thankfully, your party members are in no trouble, really. They never get, like, chased in this level. And then we get the forks.
I've got the right.
So in this case, we're actually going to go left and follow.
I'm going left.
We're going to follow Slippy, because I can't trust him after that incident in Sector X.
Watch out, Mom.
And depending on which fork you take, will lead you to a different variety of enemies. I'm not going to obviously show off all 3 routes, because I don't feel like that's all the routes, because I don't feel like that's necessary. They all essentially lead to the same thing.
Incoming.
Location confirmed. Sending supplies.
But like after you take out all the enemy ships, you're gonna get a bunch of obstacles depending on who you're tailing. So with Falco, you got all these stupid golden rocks coming up from the ground because apparently Andross can't take any chances. So you want to be careful when you're flying around here because you could easily crash into the rocks and then that's no good.
This brings back memories.
But thankfully we managed to get through that just fine.
You can never defeat me.
Hopefully you guys don't see that pause. I thought I heard a knock at my door. And now we got the giant temple for some reason.
Temple gives me the creep.
I guess Andross is. I'm not sure why Andross thought it was a good idea to do this. But anyway, boss time. We got the golem, stone golem, whatever you want to call it. I call it.
What's going on? He's running away.
I call it a pain in the rear because the main idea with this guy is that he's going to constantly run away and try to leave all these pillars on the walls to try and block you. And obviously, like, that's not fun because you can crash into a lot of them multiple times.
Here it comes.
But the main idea is to shoot all of its segments so you can actually go for the back. And the head is always the last segment to shoot off. So you shoot off the rear, the body, the legs, the arms. Shoot off every piece of its body until its head starts glowing red. Then you aim for that. And once you do that, then its back will become vulnerable. And you want to be careful at this point because that's when he starts throwing all the pillars all over the place. Miraculously, as you just saw, I took no damage from that attack. I apologize for the pausing. At this point, my HDMI cable was just giving me too much of a hard time, so I switched it. But that's the boss. Watch out for those guys that swing their arms too. That could be annoying. Just stay on the side, you'll be fine.
I'll go it alone from here.
Fuck!
I've been waiting for you, Star Fox.
Oh, have you?
You know that I control the galaxy.
Actually, technically you don't. We got this far, so clearly we're doing something right.
It's foolish to come against me.
You say that, but I'm already here. I can't leave.
Die just like your father.
Okay, now that's just mean. Alright, so I apologize in advance. This is not one of my better attempts with Andross. Like, I don't know what was going through my head during this fight. But Alright, so the basic idea is that you're going to have to shoot his hands. And they're constantly trying to attack you, either by slapping you or punching you. And then he also attacks with both hands simultaneously. And this is the part where he tries to suck you in. And like a dope, I got sucked in. And you really don't want to do that. If you do have bombs, you can shoot the bombs into his mouth when he does this, and you'll be able to stop him from swallowing you. Unfortunately, since I'm an airhead, I got swallowed and I lost both my wings. You automatically lose both your wings if he manages to inhale you. The reason why I'm shooting the eyes is because you can temporarily stun him when you do that, which gives you a better opportunity to shoot his hands. He also has this attack where he shoots lightning. It does tail you a little bit, but it's something you can't avoid. The only reason I got his is because I suck. Not to put myself down, but like I said, this is one of my really bad attempts with Andross. I don't know what was going through my head. It's like I haven't been inhaled by this guy in such a long time. It's kind of ridiculous. But whenever he inhales you, or even if he fails to, he'll shoot out a whole bunch of rocks. So you're gonna want to shoot as many of those, just so you can avoid them. And since I lost my wings, my laser upgrade went down back to default, and since we're in a boss fight, we can't simply just get our wing repair. So we're gonna fly a little bit awkward. Well, okay, not necessarily, because... No, yeah, because when you lose your wings, like, your R-wing tends to, like, falter downwards a little bit. Once you shoot both of the arms, then you go for the head. And if you don't do enough damage, he's obviously just going to try and inhale you. What you want to do is you want to brake and try to steer to the left or right and barrel roll as much as you can. Like a dope, I pressed the boost button like it by accident. For some reason, I didn't take any damage, though. That was really weird. So we're going to try this again. And, yeah. Well, I guess you don't really need to barrel roll, I suppose. And he's just going to keep doing this. It's a shame those rings don't actually provide health recovery, because this boss fight would be a little bit easier then. And I forgot why I had to pause the game at this point. I forgot to cut this out. So how are you guys doing today? I know the apocalypse happened and all that, and I hope you're all doing well. You're all safe at home, just staying out of trouble, staying healthy and all that. Yeah. This is super awkward. Oh, dang it. Why did I forget to cut this out? I think I had to go. I think I had to take care of something or whatever. I assure you this is the only time this happens in the playthrough, but it's like, dang it. Alright, so I guess while this is still happening, I should probably explain why getting the medal in this level is just not, manageable. It's because you can approach a Venom from two levels. You can approach it from Bulse, or a level we're going to be covering later, Area 6. You cannot get the medal in this level simply because of the route you take. For some odd reason, that's just how the game works. You can only get the medal from Venom via the harder route, which essentially ends with Area 6. Okay, thank you. Alright, we're done. And once you shoot him down enough times, he turns into this crazy robot. Oh gosh, he's a robot. Not sure how this came to be, but Andross is a robot. All he really tries to do is he just tries to headbutt you, smack you a whole lot. So you just want to stay to this side as much as you can. If you veer to the wrong side, you're going to take damage. That's all there is to this boss fight. I can't really tell where the hitbox is though, but he's dead.
Are you okay?
Yes! You did it!
Okay, I'll admit it. You did good, Fox.
Indeed we did. We finished the game. We defeated Andross once and for all. But we're not done with this playthrough. We still have a large number of levels to go over. I would give my final thoughts on this game regardless, but there's a bit of a problem. You see, if you go out of your way, if you do the route that I took, you fight Andross, it's like you take on his robot form, you get to the end credits, it's like good job. Good job. You did good. You saved the Lilat system. And then all of a sudden this happens. I guess Andross isn't dead after all. Looks like we goofed. So this is what happens when you defeat him via the easy route. Or at least the route from Bolsay. It's basically telling you didn't do that. You apparently didn't do. You did something wrong. You either took a wrong route or you didn't. Basically, you didn't take the correct route. Clear. Yeah. But here's our scores. I'm just comparing them to the mine in the past. I actually didn't do a test playthrough of this game. I didn't feel like I needed to. I know this game very well. But yeah. I think we did pretty good for ourselves. But yeah, that's how it works. You do the easy route, you essentially get the bad ending where Andross's face just pops up at the end credits, and you realize you have to do so. You're gonna have to fight Andross via a different method, a different route. Essentially, because otherwise you're just going to continue to get that ending. And the weird thing is that there's the easy route, the medium route, and the hard route. The medium route is only 3 levels, and the medium route could take you in 2 different ways. But yeah, that's our paycheck. We did pretty darn well for ourselves. I like to think so. But I like to think this is where we call it apart. Like I said, we're not done with this game. So next time on Star Fox 64, we're going to start tackling those medium route levels that I mentioned earlier. So until then, I got a juice.